Alright, so far we have created this application, we have our banners, we have all of our movies sorted, we have pagination implemented, we have everything for our movies component. And now is the time to start working on our watch list component. So if I now go into my watch list component, this doesn't have anything right now, right? This is completely empty. So if I go to my React app over here and if I look at my watch list, so this is how my watch list actually looks, right? So this is kind of a table, and inside this table we have our movie poster, we have the name of the movie, we have ratings, we have popularity, we have the genre, and we have a delete button that will help us to delete the movie from our watch list. Similarly, we have this genre filter, so if I click on action, so only action movies will be shown. If I click on crime, only crime movies will be shown, and like that. And also I have this search field, right, where I can actually search for my movie. So all of these particular elements are over here, all of these components are here, so we have to build this up, right? So this is basically my demo. So first what we will be doing is, I'll just go to all genres, yes, and first what we'll be doing is we'll be building the entire design of our watch list, right? So we'll be creating this table, we'll be creating this search field, we'll be creating this genre sections, right? And then we'll apply whatever feature that we need over here, right? Then we'll write our logic. So first you need to design this like this, right? So what I will do is I'll go back to my Vite plus React. Over here we do not have anything. I'll just move to my code over here, right? So let's move to our code. Yes, and now let's start basically having it, and I'll just keep it over here, and yeah, let's get started with this. Okay, so over here you see this code, and this is our application. Great. So right now we have implemented all of these things up till this point, and now we have to work on our watch list. So if I move to my watch list right now, you see this is my watch list. This doesn't have anything. Let's start building this up, right? So first we'll just keep on looking at this demo, and we'll keep on replicating this particular design over here. So first, if you see, you have this genre sections, so I'll keep it for later. First what I will do is I'll just go and design this search field, and I'll design this table. So these two things I'll do first, right? So for that what we can do is we can just move over here and we can start designing this. So over here inside this div, I need a div, right? And inside this div what we can do is I can just have a fragment over here, right? I can just have a fragment instead of having this div, so that I can add another divs whenever I want, right? So right now I just want to work with this div, and this div will basically be for my search field, right? So I'll just give it some class name, and I'll just remove this h1 from here, right? And let's give this particular thing a search field, right? So I'll just give this input field, right, of type text, and over here I'll just say that this is going to be an input field of type text, right? Let's check this out. So if I go to my Vite plus React, and do I have an input field? Yes, I have an input field over here. I need this somewhere over here at the center, right? So let's keep it at the center. So I'll just give this div a little flex and justify center property. Let's check this out, and yes, it is at the center right now, and I just need it to give some margin. So I'll just give this my of 4, let's suppose, right? Not mhy, my, and it is somewhere over here. Great. So I have my search field over here, and now I just need to design this so that it resembles this search field, right? So let's start doing this. So what I can do is over here is I can go to my input field, and I can give it some height, width, and all of these things, right? So if I go to my input field right now, and over here I can just give it a class name right now, and let's give this class name of h. So height I'll be providing of 3 rems, and then let's move forward and let's provide it a little width. I'll provide a width of around 18 rem, right? This is just Tailwind style of writing this. So height 3 rem, width 18 rem. Let's check this out. Yes, this is good, right? This size is pretty much the same as it is, right? And then I just need to give this some border features, right? Because right now this is not visible, so I'll just give this some border as well, so that it's always visible, right? So over here I'll just give it a background gray, right? First I'll just give it a background gray so that it takes a little color, and yes, it takes a little color, and yeah, it actually looks good without a border, right? So this, we can keep it like this only, right? So over here we do not need any outline, so I'll just remove the outline and the border, right? So I'll just do a outline none, right? Great. So now we do not have an outline and this looks pretty much solid, right? And now over here we can just give it a placeholder and we can just say search for movies or something like that, right? So over here I'll just give this a placeholder, ARCH search for movies, just like that, right? Great, very nice. Search for movies or search movies, just great. This looks nice, right? And now we can add a little margin padding inside this as well. So I'll just provide it some px of 4, right? Cool. This looks entirely as it looks over here, right? So basically when this part will come at the top of it, it will be automatically pushed down. So yeah, this will be sorted, right? So now we have our search field over here. You can go and you can type and you can do stuff, right? So the search feature will be implementing over here in this element. But now the next part that we are going to design is going to be the table, right? The table that we see over here, this particular table. So this table has the name, ratings, popularity, genre. So these are all the table headings, and this is going to be all of your table data, right? So this is how we have to create a table. So yes, we can take help of the simple HTML table and we can then design it with Tailwind, right? So yes, let's get started with that as well. So over here, what I will do is I'll just take another div, right? I'll just take another div. So this is done, the search field is done. I'll just take another div over here, and this div is going to be for my table. So inside this, I'll just open up a table, and this table will have table headings, and then this will have table data, right? So inside this table, I'll just have my t head part, right, which is going to be my table head part, and then after this head, I'm going to have my table body, right? T head, T body. I hope you know this, right? This is just basic HTML, right? So right now I have my table, I have my head, and I have my body. So in my head, what I need in my heading, what I need a row, and then I need multiple headings, right? So inside this table head, I'll just create a row, right? First I'll just take up a table row that I need a row, and inside this row I need table headings one by one, right? So first heading is going to be my name, right? First heading is going to be my name. Then basically I will be needing my ratings, I guess. What do we have? Yes, I have the name, then I have the ratings, popularity, and genre. So these headings I will be needing, right? So the second thing is going to be popularity, ratings, then I need my popularity, and then I need genre, and I need my genre basically, right? Let's check this out. So how it looks in our app right now, completely very basic right now, right? So we need to design this up as well. So let's try and let's design this, right? So what I will do is I'll just come to this particular div, or first before going to the body, let's just design this head only, right? Then we can basically look at our body. So first what I will do is I'll just give this particular parent div a class name, and I'll just have it as, I'll just give it some border so that it looks basically we can see some border over here. So first let's just give this a border, and I'll give this border a color gray, right? Because gray color looks good, 200. And then I'll just give it some margin so that they look a little separate, whatever is inside them, right? Great. So over here I have given a margin, and this is a border kind of a thing, and now I have my 4 headings over here, right? So I can now move forward, and I can just go forward and I can design my table. So I can give this table a class name now, and I can give this width full so that it will take the entire width. Yes, like that. So it looks completely nice right now, right? Name, ratings, popularity, genre, great. So width full will take the entire width, and it will separate out all of your elements in equal spaces. So that's what it is doing. So I have width full. Then I can just give the text a little color of gray, right? I've selected the gray color for the complete application. And then we can just give it text center, right? Let's check this out. Yes, so basically we have all of our particular headings that we need, right? Name, ratings, popularity, genre. Great. So this is how we have it. And now we can just go over to our head so that we can specifically design our headings, right? And over here we can just give them some border B2. Great. So right now you see it has a little 3D effect kind of a thing. So this border is a little 3D. It looks like it's coming out of it, right? So this is how we have created our table. Great. So our table has been created. Now what we need over here is now we need to work with our body, right? So this table is done. Now we need to create our body, right? Or let me just give this some more features over here, basically more design. So I'll just give this rounded, not rounder, rounded, right? And then I'll just give overflow header so that it doesn't overflow, right? That's it. So this table is done, and yes, it's looking entirely cool, right? You see now we have rounded borders as well. This looks good, right? So now what we can do is we can move forward, and now we can design our body. That how do we need our body? So if I move over here, so I have name, rating, popularity, genre, and at the bottom of it I have my body, and inside this body I have the poster area, then I have the ratings field, then I have popularity, genre, and a delete button. So I need to take care of all of these things. So let's take care of all of these things. Let's go to this table body and start designing this as well. So inside this body, what I need, the first element that I will be needing is the table data, which will show the poster, right? Which will basically show the poster. So I need an entire area which will show the poster. So for that, what I will do is I'll create a table row over here, and inside this table row, right, because this is body, so this will be creating the rows for my body. Inside this row I'll just have my image first, right? I'll just have my image first. So for that I'll need to have a table data which will just show the image, right? So let's check this out. So inside my table row, what I can do is I can just have an image tag right now, right? So inside this table row, let's have first a table data, and this table data will just have an image tag. Let's give it an image tag, image right now, right? And for this image, let's give it a source. I mean, I'll just go to random Google, right? And I'll just bring a poster image, right? Right now I do not want to play with the APIs and stuff. So I'll just see a movie poster, right? I'm creating static design, so this is fine, right? Movie poster, whatever movie I like, I'll just pick up a poster, right? I like this particular poster of the Matrix, so let's pick this poster up, and basically where's the copy image address, and let's put this up over here inside this source, right? Yeah, a short address. I think it will be shown over here in our app. Let's check this out. Yes, so this is here, but we do not want this big, right? So we have to design this as well, and so that it looks over here, right? So we need this particular, the leftmost part for our image over here. So let's test this out. So let's basically give some properties to it. So over here we have this image, and now what we can do with this image is we can just give this particular image a little height and a little width, right? So that we can specify some values for it. So first I'll just give this a class name, and let's give this class name over here, and let's provide this particular image a height of 6 rem, and basically let's provide this a width of 10 rem. Let's check this out. Yes, this looks good right now. So this is over here, but still we need to give some margin, padding, border, so basically we can differentiate this in this manner, right? So let's give our parent element some properties as well. So over here we can just give this table row which we are returning inside our body a class name, and we can just say that just get a border, and then we can just go over to this table data, and here we can just say flex item center, so everything is at the center, and then we can give it some padding so to get that extra spacing inside, right? Py of 4. Let's check this out, and yes, this looks neat, right? This looks very good. So now we have this matrix poster over here, and now we just need to add the name, ratings, popularity, and genre. We need to add this, right? Yeah, so basically I think this will be done. Great, 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 great. So yeah, we are going good. All right. So now what we need is we need a area where we will show our title, right? So let's show our title. So one table data is reserved for your poster. The next table data that we are going to start, or basically inside this table data only, we'll need to have a poster because the first heading is the name, right? So you can change this heading to poster, maybe, right? So if I copy this and if I paste this, right? Just doing some things randomly, right? Basically, let's see if this works or not. So if I do a poster over here, no, I mean, let's not do this, right? Let's keep the name property inside this table data only. So what I will do is I'll just go down from this image and I'll keep my name over here so that I can include both of them over here. So I'll just create a div, and inside this div I'll just pass my heading, right? The movie title. So for now I'll just pass the matrix, anything like that, right? Let's check this out. So I see the matrix over here. I just need it at the point where my name heading is. So for that I'll just give this div a little margin. Let's give this a little margin of x, basically in the x-axis. Let's move it by 4. Let's refresh, and yeah, I mean, this looks good, right? You can move it a little more if you want, so you can just give it a 10 or something. Yeah, so this actually looks good, right? So we have the matrix, and over here if we can just have the name at this point, it will be better, but yeah, we can make those design changes later, right? Or otherwise what happens is some movie has a long name, right? So it looks better that over here we have name and this particular part shows the name, right? Great. Then we have this ratings, popularity, and genre. So let's basically have some styling for them as well. So what we need to do over here is we need to have our table data, separate table data. So for this heading we need another data. So we can just go over here and we can have our TD, and inside this TD we can just give any rating right now, right? Let me just give it 8.5. Yeah, so ratings has 8.5. Then I can give it some popularity rating as well in another table data. So let's give it 9 right now, right? And let's have a random genre over here as well. Let's say action or anything, right? Suspense, thriller, action, whatever you can write. And then we can just have a button, right? Let's just have a button which will be our delete button, right? So this delete button will not be a part of any heading, so we can just add it as a independent table data, right? So over here inside this TD I'll just add a button kind of a thing. So I'll just give it a delete text, and this table data will can have on click, right? So this can act as a button, but I'll just give it a class name so that it resembles a button. That is basically text red, right? Text red. And I'll make this a little bolder. Let's make it 800. Let's check this out, and yes, you have your delete button as well, right? So whenever you click on this, your movies will be deleted, right? So this is how we have designed our table, right? This actually looks great. And now what is left is this particular part. That is basically our actions genre part, right? So I just want to test this out, that if I repeat this particular part again, this row again, right, will it look exactly like this or not, right? Because we need to render out different movies. Let's check this out, and yes, this looks good, right? So over here you will see one movie will come over here, second movie will come over here, then third, fourth, fifth, right? Now whatever your watch list will have, right? Whatever the number of movies your watch list will have. Great. So this table looks actually good. So I'll just remove this one for now, and yes, so our static design is nearly finished. let's just design this particular part, that is your genre part. So I'll just come over here and I'll just add another div, right? I'll just add another div in this fragment where I'll be creating that genre thing, right? And over here I'll just give it some genre. Let's just give it a genre of what genre we can give to this. We can just have a div inside this, and I'll just give this a genre of action, something like that, right? So over here this shows action, but now we have to design this up. So for the parent, what I will do, I'll just give this a class name. I'll give this flex and justify center, something like that. Then I'll just give this a flex wrap. I'll just do an M4. Yeah, so you see action over here, right? So now we need to design this box and we need to have this particular styling over here. So let's design this as well. So over here, when I'm writing action, right, in that particular div, we can just give some classes, right? We can just give some classes, and let's try to design this up. So if I go to this div, I can give some class name to this, and I'll just give this first a background blue so that we can get that bluish kind of a color, 400, right? Let's check this out. And yeah, we see action, and now we just need to make this a little rounded. So first let's just give this some height and width, right? So let's just give this height and width. First let's just have flex property and justify center. So everything is at the center. Then let's just give this some width and height. So let's give this a height of 3 rem, and let's just give this a width of 9 rem, just like that. And let's check this out. It looks like this right now. Let's give this a rounded class as well. So I'll just give this rounded XL. So now it will have that rounded effect, right? This effect. And then we can just have a go at this text. So we can just give this text white and font to bold. Great, so it looks like this. Now we just need our text at the center. So I'll just use my items center class. So over here, let's come over here. I'll just have my item center over here. Right, great. Let's check this out. Great. So this is how your button looks right now. And yes, pretty much the same, right? So let's repeat this up and let's see if we are able to create more of these or not, right? So this is my action div. Let's repeat this once. Right, great. So now you have two actions, but now you see they do not have this margin. That's why it's very important that when you create a particular element, you see that when you will render out multiple of them, is there any design issue or not, right? So that's how you can fix this up. So now if we have two elements like this, they are just right at their side, right? So what we need to do, we need to give them a little margin as well, so that whatever comes over here, it gets a little margin, right? So over here, if I have this class name, I've already given margin 4 and I've given the flex wrap property as well, but still it's happening. So what we can do is we can just give this element only a margin 4. What's happening over here? This should not happen. Margin 4 we have given it. Okay, it's taking margin from all the sides, right? So I'll just give this a margin left of 4. Margin x of 4. Yes, now it looks good, right? So I forgot that x over there. So over here you can see that they look like this, and this is basically the bluish section that I have created. Similarly, we can just change the color to gray, and if I just change one of them to gray, right? So BG blue 400, I'll just change this to BG gray 400. So you'll see that gray colored card as well, right? Like that. So if I move over here, you see this particular card, right? This is a little lightish kind of a gray. So we can just give this background gray a little less, or we can just make this a little more. We can just give this opacity property of 50, and yeah, right now this looks good, right? Exactly the same, right? So now we have created this section as well, we have created the search field as well, and we have created the table as well. So basically our static design for the watch list is finished. In the next lecture we'll move forward, and now we'll try to add our movies from this particular part, right? Over here you see all of these movies. We'll add a button over here, so you'll be able to add these movies to your watch list, and how to do that we'll see on the next lecture.